want to start off. So there is a lot of things about you on Wikipedia, on Google, but really what we want to know is about this the behind the scene Captain Zoya. I mean, how were you as a child? I mean, what prompted you or triggered you to take up this profession, which is very unconventional. So there is a lot of things about you on Wikipedia, on Google, but really what we want to know is about this the behind the scene Captain Zoya. I mean, how were you as a child? I mean, what prompted you or triggered you to take up this profession, which is very unconventional. So there is a lot of things. I think my voice is audio is echoing. I don't know why. Really, what we want
Yeah,
to
even
know is
mine,
about
his
this
voice is echoing, right?
behind somebody. I think yes. I'm just. What prompted you or triggered you to take up this profession, which is very unconventional. So there is a lot of things. I think I'm just trying to sort this out. So audio is echoing. I don't know why.
Yeah, the voice is echoing. Am I audible, Shahjahan
You are
ji?
audible. You are audible, but I think there's sound issue. I'm just trying to. Unconventional. So there is a lot of things. I'm just trying to sort this out. So audio is echoing. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think there is some issue with the end. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Shahjahan
Now
ji?
it's fine. You are audible, but I think there's sound issue.
Yeah, the voice is echoing. Am I audible?
Yes, yes. Now it's
Shahjahan ji?
fine. Now you can carry. You are audible, but I think there's sound issue. And now it's fine. Now it's fine. You can speak now. Sorry for that.
So no worries. I think I got the question. So this Zoya, when she was a little kid, her dreams were just like any other child, maybe a little different, little bit. I just wanted to touch the stars. I don't know if you would call it different or not, but for me, those were my dreams, and that is what I wanted to do. As a child, as an 8-year-old Zoya, I remember sitting on the terrace of my home and just looking, gazing at the stars all night and thinking to myself, will I be able to touch them? Maybe if I try. And then I would spot, these jumbo jets flying amongst the skies. And I would think, maybe if I fly one of them, I can possibly touch those stars. And that's where this 8-year-old dreamer's journey started from. And that journey continued. And here we are today talking to you.
See, when I travel in this, this plane, and when I see the cockpit, sometimes I manage to see. I mean, see it from outside. I get so scared. So much of buttons are there. I mean, I have done this simulator flying at Bangalore in Koramangala Forum. There is a simulated one. In that only, I got so scared. I mean, where did you scared? I mean, to so many people at your, I mean, at your safety, and they're all. It becomes your responsibility, such a huge responsibility, because it's what you're talking about is several lives. So you're not scared when you for the first time. What was the feeling?
If you live within the walls of fear and getting scared, you can never grow in life. If you want to grow in life, and I'm not talking about aviation, I'm talking about any profession, you need to climb out from those, that circle of fear or being scared that surrounds you. That fear, very, very much, I think it's put in by the society that this is difficult and this is not difficult. Who decides what is difficult? Who decides what is easy? It's us, it's the people around us. So long as you want something so badly, it doesn't matter after that whether it's difficult, it's easy. Then it's all your hard work and your determination and your will to succeed. And even the most difficult things become easy. So just like that, I possibly find, so many of my friends who work in MNCs and all, they tell me about the jobs and I'm like, okay, you do this, you do that. I'm just a pilot. And that's so simple. So for me, this is the easiest thing. But for someone from another field, it's probably tough and challenging. So it's all a matter of perspective.
No, I know you're making it so simple. I know how difficult this is. It's not something which even people can dream of. I mean, it's a very, very. I mean, 10 years back, this was like very unheard of. I mean, now of course you have a lot of women pilots, But 10 years back, this was unheard of. I mean, you are the first, I think so. I mean, to
I
fly
was
this
amongst the
drone.
first few, yes.
Yeah, so that's like, I mean, so when I was researching on you, Captain Zoya, I understand that there were 7,000 applicants for this pilot job at Air India, and only seven of them got through, and you were one of the seven. So what was that feeling when you got through and when you cracked it? What was the feeling like?
You know, my father was in the ICCU. My father had a heart attack, and I'm the only child. Just 1 week prior to my Air India examination, because he was under so much stress that, in spite of all this hard work and the money involved, will his daughter get a job? So probably it was the stress playing on him. And when he did have that heart attack at such a young age, I was under stress because I felt that somewhere I was a part of his cardiac arrest and his stress. And it was hardly, 3, 4 days since he got operated. And I told him, Papa, I'll not go to give my Air India exam. He was in tears in his cardiac unit, ICCU. And he says, no, beta, go. I want you to go and give the exam. I'm so sorry, I can't do anything from here. And, I went. It was tough. It was really challenging. The examination was tough. And not only that, I remember clearly, I took 20,000 rupees with me for the expenditure towards, staying over there and so on and so forth. And when I went to the examination center, I kept that, little polythene that I was carrying outside, and somebody stole it. And, from there, when I came out of the examination center, post my examination, I saw that my stuff was not there. So I had no money. And I was in Mumbai, the city of dreams. But, there I was without any money, gave my exam. And then I was just praying that hopefully I should just get through, because maybe it'll make my dad better. It'll help in his recovery more than anything else. And I think that's what happened. It's the power of what you really truly want from your heart. God and universe gets together and kind of makes it happen for you. And from there, I cleared my written exam, which was a very challenging thing as well to clear. And went on from there to clearing my simulators and interviews. And I think the most important thing for me at that point was my father got a little better thanks to my induction into Air India, which was almost unheard of. It was really, really difficult to get into Air India at that point in time. And I think that was the start of my journey for many, many more things to come. Not for my journey towards myself, but my journey as a bigger picture to be able to inspire so many children all across the world and turn them into future aviators and future Zoyas of tomorrow.
No, Captain Sir, there is no doubt about it that the students who are listening to you, thousands of our students are watching you. YouTube से कोई देख रहे हैं आपको, app से देख रहे हैं आपको, तो इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं कि they'll be massively inspired by you, because your story is a story of hope. Your story is a story of resilience. There's no doubt that the amount of struggle and discomfort and the sort of path you have traversed, there's no doubt the amount of hard work you have done. All said and done, India being population of 1.4 billion, the incredible stories of this compelling narrative of women breaking stereotype mold and trailblazing, into orbit are very rare and few. If it comes to my mind, maybe Priyanka Chopra, or maybe it comes to my mind PV Sindhu, or Sania Nehwal, Captain Zoya. So there are handful, 25, 30 cases like this. What do we do now? We need more women now. We need more. I was just reading an article that in the last 10 years, 2 crore women disappeared from active employment into oblivion. How do we nurture and generate more Captain Zoya? What do we need to do? Because we need more people like you.
Absolutely. Firstly, I respect tremendously all those names that you've taken. I have an immense amount of respect for Priyanka Chopra ji, for PV Sidhu ji. I think all these girls who do our country proud all across the world, The love and the respect, I think, from every single Bharat ki beti just flows. Recently, we were flying Neeraj Chopra ji. He's another Bharat ka beta. And Chanu ji, Bharat ki beti, they were on board with us on one of our flights. And, it is such a proud feeling to be able to meet those heroes, be it anyone, who represents our country so beautifully and does all of us proud. I think is that message that every Bharat ki beti, firstly, we have to give them the power to dream. We cannot take that away from them, no matter how difficult or how offbeat their choices may be. They could want to become someone who is really different. Today, there are no set paths that one must follow. You have to allow girls, every single Bharat ki beti, children of who are going to be, the path breakers and the change makers, the women leaders of tomorrow, to think on their own and not interfere in the thought process that you should become a particular thing. Like when I was growing up, I was expected to follow a certain path. And even up till today, if you talk about across India, parents do expect their children to, think a certain way towards their profession. We have to change that. We have to give them the power of dreams. And we also have to remember that change has to start from all of us. When we are going to have children, we should be able to look at them in a very neutral way and say, gender have no dreams. Look at them as children and not as boy or girl. When we are able to do that, when we are able to give them the power of dreams and the power of hope, they automatically excel, because parents are the biggest support system of a child who is growing up. When they are nurturing those dreams that I saw, I had to go and fight against the world. But I don't want every single child to do that, because you know what? 99% of the times it is easier to just kneel down and succumb to the societal pressure. God's willing, God's grace, God gave me the courage. And I think my inner self gave me the courage to go beyond and fight the world. But it is not easy. I don't want that to be a struggle and for our world to be deprived of amazing future leaders and future change makers, because their parents did not give them the comfort of having to follow their dreams. So that change has to come from us. When we start seeing the children of tomorrow as the change makers, the path breakers, and the leaders, without thinking they're a boy or a girl, when we start seeing our children as children, that is where the change is going to start, and it's going to continue. It's going to be a chain reaction, and we're going to have a better, happier, successful, and fulfilled world.
See, Captain Zoya, I think what separates the champions or the good from the great is a mindset. What we want to do is we want to tap into your mind. We want to understand how you leverage your, because it's making it so simple and easy, but I'm sure it's not like that. So what are the emotions you go through? Because I know it's such a responsible, you cannot get complacent. And what are the sort of emotional sort of the cocktail of emotion which you go through? How did you make your mind so strong? Do you do anything to stay focused? It's so difficult to stay focused and calm and grounded and humble when you are in the limelight, when people are watching you, because this particular this journey from San Francisco to Bangalore suddenly catapulted you into those limelight. So were you expecting that sort of public sort of that appraisal or accolades coming your way? Did you expect that when you were flying down? One first question. Secondly, what are the exercise you do to make your mind so strong?
No, not at all. I never expected this. I've always been a very organization pro and saving money for the organization kind of a person. I've always had that mentality in me to push beyond the envelope. So when this North Pole flight we were able to successfully complete, I was really happy, because we made our Prime Minister Modi ji's dream come true by connecting the two Silicon Valleys of the United States and India. And also, we set a world record. We kind of broke so many stereotypes by that one flight. And that COVID era needed the silver lining, which was so very required at that point in time. And I think that is what kind of set this flight apart from the normal flight. So we thought, like maybe we'll have a little few interviews and that's about it. What I did not realize was the impact that
Yeah.
this flight is going to create and how. I was just, after this flight, like you said, I was just, kind of rolling in interview after interview after interview. And then, the TED Talks. I did not realize initially what is the change that it could make in the world. But as time went on, I realized that it was not about saving just 10 tons of fuel. It was not just saving an hour plus of flying time. It was not just four women breaking world record. It was not one of the world's longest flight. The message was farther and louder. The message was to change the world. And a message like this, it kind of changes the world and the lives of so many people more than you and I can ever fathom. Because when they see those four girls breaking record, it's not about Zoya. It's not about anyone else. Zoya is just a figure. I am just, a girl whose name is Zoya. I, me, my team, our flight was a representation of one thing. That one thing is the power of dream. What you can dream as an 8-year-old child, even though your environment is against you, even though the world could be against you. From there, you can not only follow your dreams, but you can excel and inspire others to leave behind the footprints in the sands of time, so that the purpose of all our lives is to leave behind a better world than what we found, to improve the future of tomorrow. And that's what I'm really, really happy about.
So, Captain Zoya, I want to place on record that you are a massive catalyst for change. Okay, and the world needs, particularly India needs more people like you, and it's tremendous. And our students are also fortunate to, meet you virtually, and whatever you are sharing are really nuggets of wisdom. And this, the power of dream. How many of us have that, license, or how many of us that can dream like that? From at an 8-year-old, when I was maybe 25, I was lost. I didn't know what to do. ड्रीम तो दूर की बात था, अभी पता नहीं क्या करना है लाइफ में, हम लोग तो खोया हुआ था. तो आपने 8 साल में यह सपना देखा कि आपको, मतलब, you want to become a commander, you want to fly. It's tremendous, and your list of incredible achievements are like really great. You spoke Narendra Modi ji, the Prime Minister of India, spoke to you on Mann Ki Baat, TEDx speaker. You're also the UN spokesperson for gender equality. So many accolades you have garnered, during this time. So, obviously, do you have this feeling? देखो, अभी तो मैंने crescendo, just a crescendo. You reach. Do you have that feeling in your mind? अभी तो मेरे को ऊंचाई पहुंच गया हूं मैं, मेरा काफी नाम हो गया है. अब मुझे क्या करना है ताकि मैं वापस उससे भी कुछ ज्यादा करूं? ऐसा आपको आता है कि ज़हन में, कि आप सोचते हो कि और भी कुछ करना है ऐसा?
मेरे सॉरी, मैं हंसी इस बात पे, क्योंकि मैं नाम का शब्द मेरी वोकैबुलरी में ही नहीं आता. आई डोंट हैव द वर्ड मी, आई, in my vocabulary. I think there is nothing like I, there's nothing like me. We all are sent by the Almighty. I'm a very spiritual person, to have a particular purpose, to walk a certain path. And we all do that. Even the very breath that I'm taking right now does not belong to me. It's for a greater purpose. Maybe I'm sent over here to be able to change lives, which I never realized. So I do not feel that I've done anything. I have not done anything, firstly and foremostly. I think God has been kind. My country has been kind. My viewers, my followers, my future dreamers, my airline, my own Air India. I think my family, I think everybody has been kind to garner me with so much of love that, with all the blessings, I have reached here. But the point is, it's nothing that I have done. Everybody works hard. Everybody dreams. I have just done, a little bit different. That is, I have followed my dreams. I have not given up. And that is the power that I want to inculcate in every single child, every single young girl, young boy out there who's watching, old person, middle-aged person, age no bar. There is one thing that you can do and follow and change your life is dream. Because remember, every single great dream begins from a great dreamer, and every single great dreamer is all of you who can change your life. So never ever forget that. And I'm just merely here to show what I have done in order to be able to change lives, in order to be able to show that ray of hope that if you can see me, you can be me. And that's what I want to do. I'm just a tiny little drop in the ocean, as I always say. But I want to see a whole ocean full of Zoyas who are symbolic of dreaming and following their dreams and leading a successful world of tomorrow.
The fact that Captain Zoya, you took time, and you came out here to share your experience, and that itself speaks very much about the sort of person you are, and this sort of qualities about you. You know, the word I being subservient, and and talking about uh, you being just the spoke in the wheel. These are all qualities of great people, somebody who's having champion mindset. Okay, so this is really great, and I always wanted to, honestly speaking, I always wanted to talk to you. Okay, but today I also got the chance to talk and listen, and learn so much things from you. So we have lot of female students in our सफलता. We have lot of female students, और काफी सारे हमारे जो बच्चे हैं गांव से आते हैं, छोटे शहर से आते हैं, जहाँ पे उनका एक होता है कि यार they have to get married at this age, and they are not allowed to dream also. They are stifled. Okay, so, and it's very difficult for them because they are fighting against adversity, fighting against societal norms. They're fighting so much of deep-rooted conventional beliefs, which have been yeshed for so many years. तो कैसे तोड़ना है उसको, हमने do they become a rebel? कैसे उसको तोड़ना है? Because society dictates certain things. So how do you think that we can create that sort of massive change? Of course, you are now a torch bearer. You are lending your voice, speaking about gender equality. So we need more voice, more active voice. One way, of course, आप सफलता टॉक्स के माध्यम से तो आप बता ही रहे हो that itself is. So what else do we need to do where women, especially from small towns, villages, they also get that power to dream, or they start becoming like you in some sense? What do they need to do?
हम लोगों को बचपन से ना बोला जाता है हर चीज के लिए। नहीं, आप ये नहीं कर सकते बेटा, आप ये नहीं कर सकते। जब हम उस ना को एक अलग नजरिए से देखना शुरू कर दें, जैसे कि अगर आपको कोई नो बोले, you cannot do this, what is your next reaction to that? What could be your next reaction if I say no to you for something? Shahjan ji, can you hear me?
My guess, I mean, generally, if I can hear you, so if you say no to me, I will say, okay, fine, it's okay. I accept it. I become submissive. I don't try to fight that no.
So that is the reaction of most of the people. I don't want you to do that. I want to say, जब आपको कोई मना करता है, नहीं आप नहीं कर सकते, वो ना नहीं होती, वो और 10 लाख अगली अपॉर्चुनिटीज होती हैं कि वो जो ना है वो हाँ में तब्दीली हो सकती है. A no, whenever somebody says no to you, it's never a no. So long as you remain persistent in what you want to do, what you want to achieve, that no is the next 1 million opportunities for that no to turn into a yes. So long as we do not give up, that is where the power lies. अगर आपको कभी भी अपने सपनों को फॉलो करना है, आपको ना सुनने को बहुत मिलेगी, बी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर इट। लेकिन कभी भी आप उस ना कोई मतलब ये नहीं है, आप उसको एक्सेप्ट करिए, आप उसको हाँ में बदल सकते हैं। आप अपने अंदर अपने ऊपर विश्वास रखिए, आत्मविश्वास रखिए, वो जरूर होगा। लेकिन वो आत्मविश्वास के साथ साथ एक अपनी मेहनत के साथ आगे बढ़ते रहिए, जिस भी राह पे आपको चलना है। Whatever it is that you want to achieve in life, you will hear no. That is the laid down path normally, but you have to fight that no. And if you follow your heart and your dreams with all your passion and hard work and dedication, believe you me, that no will turn into a yes. And that is what we have to work towards.
So very well said.
And do not
Absolutely,
give up.
absolutely brilliantly said. There's a saying in English: "People don't fail; they give up early." So very,
True.
very powerful and well said. So my question is like this, Captain Zoya, Indian aviation industry is now the fifth, globally ranked fifth, and nothing stops us in becoming number three because 100 new airports are coming in India. Where do you see the future of Indian aviation industry? What are the career opportunities in ground staff, cabin crew? I mean, the whole set of gamut of range of opportunities. How do you see in next 5 years Indian aviation industry going to be?
I see our aviation in India going really, really sky high, because I'll tell you, from pre-COVID to now, we are higher than the pre-COVID levels already. So you can just imagine the future as more and more airlines are going to grow. There are going to be more job opportunities, whether it's for cabin crew, ground staff, pilots, engineers. See, being a pilot is not the only job in the aviation industry. There's so many other jobs, right? And that is what we should promote. I always, talk about this, that, we have so many different work opportunities in aviation. So you can explore any of that. And every single thing is going to grow at an unprecedented rate. And the way our country is, with the leadership of our Prime Minister, Minister of Civil Aviation, the way things are progressing, I think we see a very bright future and really, really rising job opportunities in this sector. So I'm very, very hopeful and excited to witness the same.
Yeah, thanks, Captain Zoya. See, there are a lot of young kids out here, wanting to make a mark in their life, and actively participate in India's consumption story. And you have done that. I mean, you are doing it every single day. You're fighting the conventional logic or conventional wisdom. So, what are your three tips? आपका क्या तीन tips है हमारे जो युवा है उनके लिए क्या three tips है to be successful?
सपने देखिए, ड्रीम नंबर 1। हर चीज एक सपने से शुरुआत होती है। मेहनत करिए, जी तोड़, work hard with all your heart and soul and passion towards fulfilling your dream. Third, do not give up. Give up मत करिए, आगे बढ़िए और अपने सपनों को साकार करके उसकी उड़ान भरिए।
Very well said, very well said. So अभी तो हमारे पास समय है कि we can take few questions from audience also. अगर आपका कोई सवाल है तो you can just raise your hand and I will request admin to unmute you. So I just want to ask you some quick rapid fire, Captain Zoya. Which is your favorite book?
My favorite book. Wow, there are so many. In fact, just today I was reading Powerful.
Powerful, okay.
So ironic.
You have such a, I mean, I don't know whether it's the right word, but you have a challenging role instead of stressful role. I mean, challenging, responsible role you have, or job you have, a responsibility. Do you have this? Do you have? How do you break out of the stress? What do you do? Do you listen to music? How do you calm your mind? What do you do?
I think I've always believed in looking after yourself is very, very important, because if I can keep myself happy, I can take care of everything around me. So, of course, I work out. I believe in being healthy and happy inside out. I try and eat well. I try and meditate, and the normal things which everyone does. And I think keeping oneself happy is really important. A lot of times we ignore ourselves. We get so caught up in our lives, our work, our families, that we forget ourselves, which is the most important thing. You cannot flow from an empty cup. You cannot pour from it. So you need to have a full cup of water to be able to spread that. And I think it's really, really important to exercise, to look after yourself in every single way, inside out, like I said. So I would request every single one of you to first keep yourself fulfilled and happy. It's not being selfish. It's not about being self-centered. It's actually about keeping everyone else happy and doing justice to your work and to your daily activities in whatever you want to do and achieve.
Thank you, Captain Zoya. We have Raghunandan Sharma, whose hand is raised. You can allow him to speak. Somebody can unmute him. And in the interim, Captain Zoya, what is that you're looking forward to now? I mean, so many things might be playing in your mind, right? I mean, you got so much to do now for you, because so much of people are looking now at Captain Zoya, because वो आप सब देख रहे हैं कि अब Captain Zoya आप क्या करेंगे, doing or not, it's okay, but उसके अलावा आप क्या करेंगे, सब सोच रहे हैं, मैं भी सोचता हूँ कि अब Captain Zoya आप क्या ऐसा क्या करेंगे?
I want to create an equal world, and that is what I envision, जहां पर यह नहीं देखा जाए कि लड़कियां हैं तो उनके सपने अलग होने चाहिए. जो मेरी स्ट्रगल्स रही हैं, मैं नहीं चाहती कि कोई भी और लड़की की स्ट्रगल वह रहे. और आगे चलते हुए मैं चाहती हूँ कि हर एक लड़की को इक्वल तरीके से देखा जाए और उनको वही अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिले कि वो कल जाकर दुनिया को बदल सके. I want every single girl, every single woman to have the power to be able to dream and not think that just because it's a girl or a woman, she has to fulfill certain criteria. Like she can only be a teacher or, a banker. Why? In fact, I was just recently going through a survey where, they had key positions like a surgeon, like a scientist and a pilot, and there was a survey, there was a public survey where they conducted that, who do you think that person is? And automatically, most of them would associate a man with these professions, and they would associate a woman with, a nurse, a teacher. I don't want a world like that. At the United Nations, we envision an equal world by 2030. We want to witness a world where a woman and a man is the same. So for that, we all have to change our perspectives now, and we have to look at our, like I always come back to, we have to look at our children like children and not as a boy or a girl. And that is the kind of world that I want to create for our future generations. Let that be the new change, to bring equality in the world tomorrow, so we can have a better fulfilled world. Because जो लड़कियां लड़के जब वो सपने देखते हैं और उनको फुलफिल करते हैं, जो हमारी लड़कियां होती हैं, अगर वो सपने देखकर आगे बढ़ती हैं और वो वही करती हैं जो वो चाहती हैं, तो क्या वो हमारे जो विश्व में खुशी नहीं फैलाएंगी, सक्सेस नहीं फैलाएंगी? हमारा विश्व और अच्छा नहीं होगा हम सबके लिए? I want a world like that, where women are allowed to dream and allowed to do anything they want, and they can change the world of tomorrow. That is the world I want to see, which is where I feel जो ये हमारी फ्लाइट गई है, यह फ्लाइट को देखकर a lot of people feel that they have hope, because अगर मुझ जैसी लड़की कर सकती है तो आप भी कर सकते हैं, कोई भी कर सकता है. और मैं चाहती हूँ कि मैं बहुत बिलियंस ऑफ जोयास ऐसी बने जो अपने सपनों की उड़ान भर सके.
Thank you, Captain Zoya. I think, Captain Zoya, what I like about you is that you have this clarity in thought. There's no ambiguity in whatever you say. Very rarely people have this power of articulation. I mean, there are a lot of achievers, but they're not able to articulate or weave up that sort of a narrative in which you're speaking it so simple and like a free-flowing river it is. So thank you so much for that, and really fascinating. I mean, you're very fascinating. I think you should write a book now.
We are writing a book.
Yes, I knew that. But yes, your story has to be a story has to reach a lot of people, because India lives in villages. 70% of the country lives in villages, and our per capita income is only $2,000 compared to US, which is $60,000. So I think the story must reach everybody, because it really give wings to people to dream, to fly high. So really fascinating. And if you want to say some final words from as for me, learned so many things from you.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. But yes, I do want to say aviation के बारे में आज World Pilots Day है. So since today is World Pilots Day, I would want to share something with a lot of my future dreamers and all the dreamers who are watching today who want to become pilots. So Boeing has predicted that there will be 800,000 pilots required by the year 2038. And for that, we all need to start now. So all those little kids who are watching today, whoever wants to wear this uniform, so you can think about it and you can become the pilots of tomorrow, or someone who wants to become a cabin crew or ground staff, work at the airports. The time is now. The aviation is going to expand at an amazing level. So please do not give up your dreams. Run towards it and make them happen. और मैं एक मैसेज सारी भारत की बेटियों को देना चाहूंगी, ये मुझे हमेशा बोलना बहुत अच्छा लगता है। भारत की बेटियां नहीं कम किसी से, तूफान या आंधी नहीं डर किसी से, आसमां में लिखा है एक संदेशा, भारत की जय हो, विजय हो हमेशा। नमस्कार, जय हिंद, a very happy World Pirates Day.
Thank you. I think truly privileged to listen to you, Captain Zoya. You made our days fantastic. And on behalf of Safalta Talks and Safalta, I take this opportunity to thank you from the bottom of our heart. I hope you keep flying high, reach crazy levels of dizzy heights of success, and you continue to inspire millions of people across the world. We will love to stay connected with you, and whenever possible, do visit our office in Noida, Amar Ujala office in Noida, our studio, and it will be fascinating to meet you in person. Thank you so much. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks.